So what does schooling look like here? Well, I'm studying in Amsterdam right now, and the teaching method is really like we have once a week for each class a lecture, and we're supposed to have done the reading before we arrive to class. Technically, there's supposed to be a lot of reading. I have a textbook for every class, and we're supposed to have read it from cover to cover by the exam, but never felt like that was necessary because the lectures cover the exact same material plus more. So technically we should have a lot of reading. It's not totally necessary. We don't have a lot of exams. I haven't had a single midterm. It's all like my grade is made up of usually one presentation and one exam, the final, and it's usually 50-50 for each. Let's see, not a lot of writing either. I have 7 classes and only one of them I have to do paper. But what I find really interesting about the schooling system here is just how relaxed it is. Like, we're allowed to retake anything that we need to up to 4 times, so that's pretty cool. We also, the grading system's quite different, so no matter how hard you work, you're not going to get a 10. Even if you got 100% on an exam, you're not going to get a 10. And at first, as a North American, that was really hard to get used to. I've studied in Canada and the US as well, and it's quite competitive, and everyone has to get the best grades. But out here, I mean, it was hard to get used to, but once I did, it was also a breath of fresh air, because between being able to retake things and not being able to get a really high grade, I've been able to prioritize different parts of my life, and school doesn't feel like it's so all-consuming out here. So compared to North America, I mean, the teaching is sort of the same. In North America, we have, you know, like lectures once or twice a week per class. We have to do our readings. There's a lot more work in between though in North America. I always have essays, I always have presentations, a lot of worksheets. So that's a little bit different. I do feel like I need to do the reading back home compared to here. I don't need to do it so much. A lot of writing too, but yeah, the biggest difference I find that in North America it's just so competitive. Like, if you're not getting the best grade, it's not even worth it, and it just makes school consume your entire life. So yeah, I guess that was all I had to say.
My name is Remo. I'm studying health sciences in the Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich, and right now I'm in Australia for my master's thesis. At my university, the bachelor consists of 180 credit points, which can be done in 6 semesters, but most of the students take 7 or 8. During the week we have a lot of lectures where we just have to listen and take notes, and usually don't have to read much, and also we don't have to write essays, which is really nice. But on the other hand, we have 2 exam sessions a year and a lot of preparation time. For example, during the summer we have, after the semester ends, 9 weeks where we can learn full time, and then 3 weeks of exams, and finally we have 2 or 3 weeks of holidays.
Okay, so in Australia at uni, studying and kind of getting a tertiary education involves lectures where the teacher who runs the whole subject just kind of throws all the information at you, and tutorials where you kind of get smaller class groups with a variety of teachers who work in that subject in more of a personalised environment where you can ask questions and talk and discuss and whatnot. What are the teaching methods? So those are pretty much the teaching methods. In lectures you get information thrown at you, and in tutorials you kind of get to talk about it, flesh it out, because most of the time in lectures you just don't understand. There's too much to try and absorb it all at one time, so you don't really get a chance to kind of process it until you get to talk it through with the teacher in your tutorial. Yes. We have to read and write a lot. It varies between subjects. I think history subjects and English subjects, you have to do a lot of reading and a lot of writing. I do mainly language-based subjects, and for those there is a lot of reading to do, lots of theory, not so much writing, but more just practicing your language skills. Yeah, so I guess it just depends on yours.
Hey, so studying. Usually when I study at my home uni, it's like usually just like in my room, or I really like this one library on my campus, and I usually study there. Yeah, I like go to uni on I usually do my studying on weekends and in between classes. At UOW, my studying has mostly been well, in my room too, but it's like a little bit harder to concentrate because I live at like campus residence, and there's always like a bunch of people making noise, so I find it kind of hard to study here. So I definitely do my best studying at the library, and the library here is really nice. I like how you have your like bottom more like social level, and then your top levels, they get quieter, which is like the same exact setup of my home uni too, so you could kind of choose how much noise you really want. Yeah, maybe I'm also having a harder time studying here because I just want to like adventure, because I'm obviously on exchange and I just want to go around and see what's going on. But yeah, I guess like studying honestly is just like, it happens either way, and it's personally not that different. Like you've got your reading. I feel like the assignments here are less specific than my home uni, so it's like kind of sometimes it takes me a while to get started on it because I'm not quite sure what you're supposed to do all the time. But yeah, I think it's on the flip side, it's more up to interpretation, so that's kind of good. Yeah, I don't know, like uni is uni, and my course load is kind of the same, so I don't know, it's just like it's pretty swell. So yeah, I hope I answered the prompt for that one. Alright.
So this week's topic is studying. As it goes to Poland, we have compulsory subjects, so we don't get to choose subjects that we want to take, like it's in the USA or in Australia. And we also have to specify what we want to study at the beginning, like in our first year. It's more or less the same as in Australia, but it's different than in the United States. Back in Poland, we usually go with the program, so like they just tell us what subjects we have to take, and our one subject is usually 1.5 hours. It's either a lecture or a tutorial, and our tutes are sometimes like within one subject, so a tute and a lecture, but it happens really rarely. And here one subject consists of like 2 hours tute and 1 hour lecture, or the other way around, so it's totally different. As it goes to studying itself, there's a lot more studying in Australia. I don't know, it's a lot more reading. We have to read regularly and write reflections, and it has to be like every week, and we have to do blog posts, and I wouldn't have to do that back in Poland. Back in Poland, we would have assignments basically like at the end of the semester, and if we do have assignments during the semester, we would just have tests, but not really my major. It's a little bit different for science or like medicine students or law students, but humanities don't really have to do that much throughout the year. Yeah, our exams are pretty hard, but we only have them one time a semester, which is not that bad, and subject can end in a final essay as well. But we don't have to write any more essays throughout the year, and I don't really have to attend my classes. Like, it's not it's technically compulsory, but nobody would care. It's different as it goes to TUTS. We have to attend TUTS, and we only can have like 2 absences. So lecturers are pretty much up to us. And yeah, we don't have this cool videotape and yeah, we can't watch our lectures online. I don't know if it's just an Australian thing, but it's pretty popular here. Like, I could just stay at my bed and watch the lecture, but it never happens happen in Poland, and we can't really hand in our assignments if we do have them online. We have to just hand them in in person. So it's a little bit less technology in Poland, I guess.